You are not a problem to solve, you are a miracle to explore. Hello and welcome to Big Creatrix Energy. I am Gabriella Rosie, and that is something that I shared on Instagram that went absolutely viral last week. It is an excerpt from the masterclass I did in the Creatrix Coven just this morning on bringing the joy back to your art and to your life. It is all too easy to find yourself stuck on this self-development merry-go-round where there's always something else to heal, to fix, to improve about ourselves. Only when we get past that next hurdle, only when we solve this part of ourselves, then we can begin to really live our life. This is an endless, ongoing cycle. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where if you are continually looking for a problem, you're going to be continually finding new problems, new things to solve, new aspects of yourself that you have to heal before you can actually start to do the thing that you really want to do. This isn't true. You don't have to be a perfect, fully idealized version of yourself for you to start making your art, for you to start contributing things to the world that are beneficial to other people, that allow you to start making art that feels really good to create and that impacts other people and inspires other people to go on and make their own art. I've definitely enjoyed my fair share of personal development, and I love to do different practices that do really help me clear beliefs and show up and improve myself in the ways that I really want to. There's so much benefit to working on ourselves, seeing aspects of ourselves that we want to improve and aspects of ourselves that we want to let go of. That is only natural. It's only human to want to grow and to want to become this fully idealized versions of ourselves. But what can happen is we get so tricked by the illusion of having to be different, having to be a sparkly version of ourselves, that we start to focus on becoming that thing rather than focusing on what we actually want to do, how we actually want to live, and how we actually want to impact the world. The end goal is never it. What you really want isn't to be this perfect version of yourself. You know that's impossible anyway. You know you can never be this perfect version of yourself, because as soon as you get closer to that, you'll find new things, different ways that you want to advance and improve yourself. And when we look at this from excited and enthusiastic place, that can actually be really enjoyable. But what I've seen and what I've experienced myself is this hamster wheel of personal development, this hamster wheel of self-improvement. And what happens is we have ourselves under a microscope. We're nitpicking at ourselves. We're seeing nothing but problems and scouring the internet for somebody who has the recipe for the perfect solution. And then only then, when you buy that course, only when you read that book, only when you go through all these hoops and jumps and practices, then you'll be able to start. Then you'll be able to do the thing that you really want to do. We can make ourselves really busy with these 3-hour morning routines and these ice plunges and these reading lists of books that basically tell you the same thing over and over again, that leave you with this endless list of things that you have to do. And honestly, it's kind of because of that I made this mug that's gone a little bit viral as well, because when it comes down to it, my to-do list isn't all of these extraneous things. My to-do list is to make art and be hot. My to-do list is to exist in the world the way that I want to today, to start showing up for my fullest vision, for my biggest goals today. So if you feel yourself getting stuck into this endless spiral of feeling like you're constantly trying to heal yourself and expand yourself and grow yourself, this is the solution. You can decide to make your art now. You can decide exactly as you are today to begin. Because if we're being real with this, that is the only way that anything happens. That is the only way you're ever going to get to where you want to go. And the only way you're ever going to be able to create the things that you have been fantasizing about. If you decide that you're going to start making it today, that you're going to start taking action and figure out how you do this thing, learn the skills in motion, not continually preparing yourself to be able to be ready to learn the skills. Do the fucking thing. We don't have to keep waiting around. We don't have to keep doubting ourselves and piling on layers and layers of insecurities by searching for things we have to fix about ourselves. You are already filled up with so many ideas and so much passion and so much enthusiasm that you would be thrilled to start taking action on. You already have things inside of you, whether that's your experiences, the things you've learned through your life, the things you're capable of creating right now. You already have so many places to start, to be seen, to make your art, to share things with other people that will impact people in huge ways. You don't have to be this perfect, crystallized version of yourself for you to start taking up your space. And the more you tell yourself that that's the truth, the more you put your future self away in the distance, the more you set up hurdles that you have to heal, that you have to complete, levels that you have to get to before you're able to fully show up as yourself in the way that you want to, the further you push it away. The further you push the dream from you, the further you push your satisfaction away. You can decide to develop in the process. You can decide that actually you're going to start creating things. That actually, even though you're nervous, even though you don't feel 100% ready, you are going to have the courage to show up and let yourself be seen developing in the process. And what happens when you do this is you skyrocket yourself because you're no longer lagging behind trying to perfect these different aspects of yourself and searching around for more things that are so-called wrong with you to fix. Instead, you're actively moving in the direction you want to go. You're actively showing up as the person you want to be. You are developing your skills. You're developing your ideas. This concept that somebody has the secret golden ticket that's going to turn a light bulb in your mind, that's going to transform you overnight, what that does is it makes you dependent on so many other people. And not only is that just impossible as a way to live, but it also means you stop trusting yourself. You start doubting your own intuition and your own abilities, and you hold other people's concept of you and perception of you as higher than your own. As a creative, that is a ridiculous way to live because as an artist, your superpower is your taste. Your superpower is your intuition. And if you're holding yourself back from that because you think there's something wrong with you, there's something that needs to be fixed about you, then you're holding yourself back from your truest, freest expression. When we look at creatives who are really doing the thing, who are out here making things in their own way, they have so much trust and belief in themselves and their own way of doing things, their own way of expressing themselves. And it comes out freely. It comes out with ease because they're not doubting themselves every single moment of the process. So this is how you do a 180. This is how you start exploring yourself, how you start expressing yourself and stop putting your ability to be seen, your ability to create at a distance. I want you to switch out all of the self-development books and lessons for things that truly inspire you, things that truly fill you up. It's probably going to be people who are doing completely different things to you, but they're moving in a way that inspires you to figure out your own way of doing things. I just watched Steve Martin's documentary about his comedy career. Love it. His book, Born Standing Up, is actually one of my favorite autobiographies, so definitely check that out if you want something like this to inspire you to create and find yourself, find your own way of doing things. Because look, the way that someone like Steve Martin develops their comedy career wasn't because of listening to hundreds of hours of Tony Robbins talks, right? It was by showing up on stage and failing and taking risks and trying things and expressing themselves creatively. So absolutely inspire yourself, let yourself find things that truly turn you on. But this is the key thing. I want you to start taking action. And what I want is for you to make it as easy and simple as possible to start consistently taking action by creating something every day. A really easy and simple and accessible way to do this is to start keeping a sketchbook. I used to keep a sketchbook with so much ease when I was a teenager. I used to fill pages and pages because I wasn't overthinking it. I wasn't trying to create something that was perfect. I was just having a place to express myself, to put my thoughts and ideas on, to play around with ideas. And it was fun. It was purely a place to keep things, to draw, to scribble. So I want you to get yourself a sketchbook and I want you to start adding things to the pages every single day, and let it be something that you're not trying to make a masterpiece here. You're not trying to frame something from this. This is a place for you to play around with your ideas. And the goal is to take yourself from a place of having an idea but putting so many hurdles in front of it, putting so many, I have to heal this, I have to fix that, I have to develop this aspect of myself, and then I can work on this idea. No. What I want you to start doing is having an idea and then playing around with that idea, seeing what the idea can be, sketching out the ideas. If you think about colors that you want to see together, I want you to scribble them on the pages and see what they actually look like. Because this is the truth of it. You don't know how good an idea is until you start to test it out. You don't know if you even like that idea. And the longer we keep an idea in our head, the longer we fantasize about it, the more we put it up on this pedestal, the more distant it feels. And the more we start to tell ourselves, well, I'm not quite ready to bring that idea to life because I have to learn this thing and that thing and I need to get really good. My website needs to look fresh. When in reality, you don't know. You can wait 6 months preparing yourself to be ready to start doing something with that idea. And then when the day comes that you actually sit down and look at it and test it out, you realize you don't even enjoy it, that you don't even want to pursue it further. Ideas are easy. Ideas are plentiful. And I want you to get to a place where you're really quick to explore your ideas as and when they come up. The way to get past this constant ongoing cycle of thinking there's something about yourself that has to be fixed, that has to be improved before you can begin living your life, is to begin living your life. To decide that you're going to take up your space, that you're going to be willing to be seen as the imperfect, messy version of yourself. Because the more we tell ourselves we have to be perfect, the more we hold ourselves back from it. And the more we tell other people that you can't show up as your messy little self. So I think it's really all of our responsibility to be imperfect. If you're as bored as me as this cookie cutter, copy and paste state of the internet that we seem to be living right now, where every second post you see is like a copy and paste version of somebody else's post that you just saw, then I encourage you to join me and to be the change. Be someone who is expressing your fullest self online. Be someone who is willing to show up imperfect and messy and rough around the edges and figuring it out. Taking up your space, bold enough to do it in a way that doesn't feel perfect yet. Because I don't know about you, but I like my art from real people. I like to see and get to know the person who has created something. I like to see the scribbles. I like to see someone's handwriting and the imperfections of what they do. I don't want to see more and more copy and paste cookie cutter shit. And the way that we change that, the way that we encourage other people to move in this direction, is by showing up and being the example of what it is that we want to see in the world. I don't want more and more people feeling like they have to change themselves and distort themselves, and that only when they're perfect can they create their art. So I have to let myself show up and be messy and be imperfect. If you want to prioritize making art, then join my membership, which is literally based all around prioritizing making art, the Creatrix Coven. We have weekly live calls to get you hyped up, to get you inspired, to get you actively creating all of that art that you have been fantasizing about, to get you showing up in the world as your fullest self, to start moving and creating this movement of people who are being their messy, creative little selves. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I'm about to head to the art studio. I have some mugs to make. I hope you like this. Please leave a comment and let me know what your takeaway is. Let me know if you are committing to showing up as your messy little self. And I will speak to you in the next one. Bye.